Oh, and you got the bulwark against Bolshevism and Danzig for guarantees. Maybe you are going after Russia. Because they also went focus on the true enemy and rebuild the High Seas Fleet, which is the anti-Britain route. Maybe they're just going to go after both. Centre speaks out against government policy. No, I'm not going to make any agreements with you. And we're very much in like phony war stance right now. Like American submarines are just littering the Pacific, taking down... Whoa, those are mine. Naughty. Taking down Soviet and Chinese transports. Okay, so I need to say... Avoid that. Avoid that. Avoid that. Avoid that. Avoid that. 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 They should be coming through here. Which, using Filipino harbours, I should be able to send some destroyers down that way. Yeah, I'm still losing some shipping there. Oh, right, and Britain's at war with the Netherlands. And is actually winning in Malaysia. I'm surprised by that. I was expecting the Dutch to be winning there. Oh, the English have invaded the Netherlands. Successfully. The Dutch have got to have quite a few troops here, surely. Nope. So Britain's going to get a holding in the Netherlands. This is such a weird world. Yeah, we're killing a lot of Soviet convoys at the moment. Thankfully the Air Force is doing its job rather well. You guys, you task force into there, you merge into that. Have I tried out the new UK tree? Yes, there's a very long-running series, Buchan, on the UK. You can probably find all the videos on demand here, or I'll be uploading it to YouTube probably in a month or so. Cavalry have good suppression values. Yes, they have very good suppression values. And then, oh, you know what? The other thing I need to research is military police. The Boston Rebellion. The series of protests against the... Oh, this is the Civil War. Against the president have at last reached a climax. Yesterday, after the march has reached its destination in the center of Boston, the protesters did not disperse to go home. Instead, they broke into smaller groups and seized vital locations around the city. By nightfall, they had full control of the city. The police have largely gone over to the protesters, and the governor of Massachusetts has refused to send in the National Guard. A Boston Citizen Committee has taken over control of the city and is reportedly cooperating with the rebels. Other states in New England have passed motions of support, stating that they can no longer consider themselves bound by any law signed by the President Alf Landon. Instead, they call on all other state governments in the United States to declare the president deposed, Congress dissolved, and to hold new elections. While parts of the military remain on our side, entire formations have informed their officers they would not obey orders to crush the rebellion. Democratic supporters start a civil war. The United States changed their diplomatic status with us. Declare war. Okay. Oh boy, that's like my entire army. This was a full stack of 24. Well, I guess Hodges is in command then. Do I? Yeah, I have Simpson. I have really just Simpson. So Hodges really is my top commander. In that case, Hodges is going to be the Field Marshal here. And then I guess Rose, being my most aggressive, is going to be the General. We still have... Wait, that's all my carriers gone. What I'm trying to do is select you all. Oh wow, you guys have just got a little bit of experience. Oh, except for the patrol bombers. You shouldn't do that. You should be based. Actually, I have literally no idea where I want you. Wait, what? So all wars that we were involved in have ceased. So this is just the Loyalists versus the Constitutionalists. The Constitutionalists have the Philippines, but consists just of New England? No, I'm not going to join the Comintern. No, I'm not going to sign Declaration of Neutrality. I will, however, accept your Lend-Leases, though you'll probably just cancel them again tomorrow. No, no, no. Rebellion against the West Coast. The state governments of California, Oregon, and Washington states have all declared their support to the Boston government and ordered all federal officers to either resign their posts or leave the territories in these states immediately. Although there have been reports of some scattered pockets of resistance against this move, it does seem largely to enjoy the support of the population. Stability is just 10% now.
Attention!
The Second American Civil War, after months of protests and increasing tensions between the supporters of President Al Landon and his opponents in the so-called Constitutionalist camp, Constitutionalist politicians have declared a new government based in Boston, home of the first American Revolution. The divisions in society run straight through the families and institutions. It appears with a slight majority of the military has decided to side with the Constitutionalists, as state governments throughout the continental United States declare their allegiance for one side or the other. So how many troops do they have? Uh-huh. Okay. 50 against my 14. I do have the overwhelming majority of factories, but I do suspect that's not going to last. Oh, no. No, I still have the majority, I would say, of the Navy. Well, considering where the capital is... Don't do that. Do these. What happened to Mexico, by the way? Mexico's still ours. Is it ours? So the Constitutionalists, do you count as still at war with the Soviets? Yep. Okay, so I'm not the one fighting the Soviets. The Constitutionalists are. Alright, I just realised I set this up in the wrong order. Well, no, I haven't. Who owns Panama? They do. Well, that's irritating. Alright, in that case, this is a moot point. You guys are gonna go here. No. Here. Damn it. Patrol! Here, and here. With you, strike force. You guys. Stop. Okay. And... Dope, we have no guns either. Well, at least nobody has any manufacturing. DC is still our capital, okay. East Coast joins the rebellion. Nope, DC is no longer my capital. Rebel forces marching through New England have been widely greeted as liberators in Maryland, New York, Pennsylvania and New Jersey, with the local governors ordering state police and National Guard to not interfere. Any attempts to rally loyalist supporters around the capital have failed. President Alf London's been evacuated from Washington mere hours before the rebel forces closed all exits. His Moster column has made it to Richmond, Virginia, and will likely continue further south.
Ready. Move out.
Oh crap, you guys have been cut off.
Yes, sir.
Right, now we really need to slow down. Representative speaks passionately in support of something or other. Yeah, I know. What? Fundraising. Oh, that one, yeah. I've seen that one before.
Ready to move.
I shouldn't have changed where you were going. Midwest declares for the government, with more and more states refusing to allow directions from the legitimate government. The governors of Ohio, Missouri, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana and Michigan have jointly declared that they will not tolerate any seditious behavior amongst their population. A new civil war, they argue, would leave the US dangerously weakened in the face of foreign aggression.
Yes, sir. Commands. Ready. Call in.
Oops, I was not reading that.
Under fire.
Midwest declares for the government. The state governments of Dakotas, Iowa, Minnesota and Nebraska today narrowly avoided to defeat an apparently well-planned coup attempt by the leftist elements, supported by law enforcement and rebellious National Guardsmen. Loyalist citizens managed to protect the state legislatures and prevent the capture of several governors, but suffered casualties in several sharp firefights raging across the state capitals. Northwest declares for the government. The state legislatures of Wyoming, Idaho and Montana have passed a round of anti-sedition laws, giving the local law enforcement agencies sweeping powers to arrest and detain anyone found speaking out against the federal government for the duration of the current emergency. However, the presence of foreign forces in nearby Washington and Oregon will require swift support from loyalist forces. Southwest declared for us, yeah, it's possible. Oh, naval battle. Who's who? This is us. Oh, we smashed them. 3 destroyers lost for a cruiser and 11 destroyers. How are the naval powers looking, actually? 107 ships for us. Flipping hell, they have a lot. Oh, it's FDR. He's back. Those flags are far too similar. They really are.
Ready, sir.
Oh, we still have some of the cavalry.
Ready to move.
You know what? You lot are going to need to be brought back into. look at the positives, now we have war support. That is true. We do. Enough for a war economy. And with that, it's time to industrialize. Losing those divisions there is going to suck, because they have like 40 divisions to our, what was it, 14? Another naval battle, they lost, no, we lost 3 destroyers, another one. They lost a submarine, we lost 2 convoys. That's true, we importing? We are, we don't need to be. Cleared. We still have Texas, so we have all the oil. Although they're going to be moving over pretty quickly. It's unfortunate that we don't have Panama. You know what? I cannot afford to have my navy split like this. You guys need to find a way over here. Recon. So how many zones are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need 4 recons total. Didn't set recon. No, you did. And then I would say 2 strike forces. Although I have no idea if we have any carriers. No, we don't, do we? So these carrier fleets without the carriers. Fantastic. And you, I definitely want to split off for repairs. You can do that. You have an admiral. We still have Halsey, so basically all of the admirals stayed on our side. So I reckon the naval battles, we can probably pull this one. You know what, I think... No, I'm not going to do that. 1, 2... Oops, don't do that. Control, 1, 2. Those 4. And you 2. Strike force and those 4. Then the submarines. Theatre, damn it. What are those? You need to be submarines. Probably get 2 of those. You are going to be responsible for convoy raiding out there. And your commander is going to be Stark. Yeah, definitely. Okay. I had a slight sneaking suspicion that it would just spawn a bunch of soldiers and would cut away most of mine. Part of the reason I wasn't building more, I wasn't expecting them to just spawn that many for the bad guys, though. Or the good guys, as they technically would be. And we bypassed work with the Bund and Limburg to Germany. Great. So that means we can never get him on our side, I guess? Well, those all stayed on our side regardless, so I think we need to recruit the Free Corps. With the military increasingly suspect, we must turn to the heroes of the Great War. In its hour of need, the German Freikorps came to the aid of the Germanic Republic. We need a similar organization that will stay loyal to us when our hour of need comes.
Yes, sir.
MacArthur offers to lead the government. With the government in full retreat and large parts of the country siding with the insurrection, General MacArthur has approached us with an offer, pointing out that only he truly understands the American mindset and can provide stability and leadership in this moment of crisis. MacArthur has offered to lead the government in a national defense until the insurrection has been defeated. According to MacArthur, this is to reduce friction between the civilian leadership and the military commanders by placing General MacArthur in charge. Some in the government are somewhat uncomfortable with the fact that he continues to refer to himself in the third person. The American Caesar, they've stolen this just wholesale from Kaiserreich. Except he guards the national government, doesn't he? He's not the Confederate. He's not the CSA. But he is the American Caesar. And he does give us division attack and defense and core territory. Do it. Oh yeah! That familiar face. I apparently did lose him as a field marshal, but he's back as the ruler of the nation. He got a promotion, that's all. So those guys are all on their way down, good. And you lot have merged up, let's group you together. You guys are based in Virginia, excellent. What are we producing right now? I'm... okay. Just gonna call you the reserve for the moment. Because I want these ships to just straight up just join the reserve. It would be really nice if you could join literally that. Oh, it is actually called the reserve. So is it possible to put them in the reserve fleet? No, it's not. It really feels like it should be. They can only join a task force, not a fleet. I don't want to try and hold on to that salient. I think that would be a bad idea.
Yes, sir.
Now, if we can hold on to the Appalachians, that gives us a little area to work from.
Ready, sir.
And we do have enough points to bring in somebody. Mark W. Clark, plus 15% infantry defense. That's probably going to be a good idea. And he's cheaper because of Dougie MacArthur. I knew I left all that political power for a reason, although I do need to save some because I suspect we're going to need it to bring in the Freikorps.
Listen up.
No, don't go back in there. Just let them take it. It's fine, just leave them.
Ready. All in. Taking aim. Attention. Commands.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
You're going to try and counter me. No, 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 no. That's not how this works.
Yes, sir.
However, I should be starting to get a plan being made. So, I would say... Fortunately, the majority of their army is going to be in there. And they have a lot of troops over on that side, but it's going to take them a while to reach us. So I need to use as many of these factories early on as I can, just to try and keep ahead of them in terms of military factories. Unfortunately, they're going to be stealing all of the civilian factories, and I've just built up the infrastructure everywhere. So they're going to have no problems building all the infrastructure that they need.
Listen up. Move out.
But then again, we have just taken Washington, so there is that advantage.
Come on, move out. Move out.
You just need to hold him up until we've killed this unit.
Listen up. Ready. Ready to move.
Yeah, I don't need cavalry anymore. I need more National Guards. Actually, what I could do is turn you into an infantry division. No, not Haiti. Field Hospital. These are smaller, so I can get more of them. How's the naval war going? They're using submarines against us. Oh.
Ready, sir.
I didn't realize I had some troops. Oh, these are the Pacific troops. Right. Yeah, okay. In that case, you are using the railroads. Good.
Roll it. Taking cover. Orders.
No, you attack.
Ready, sir.
You stay here. Well, we took Washington, so that's a benefit. No, I did not attack Asia. Sorry, no, I'm not at war with Asia anymore. However, the constitutionalists are. So in what could be the biggest of ironies, the Soviet Union could potentially bail us out. What DLC do I have? All of them. Am I losing this fight now?
Yes, sir.
I'm not, is the simple answer.
Ready.
Right, you two are speeding over, you're sailing over. That's going to be another 3 divisions. What are you doing? Shouldn't you be... Ah, sod. Yeah, your base is Virginia.